I'm now going to discuss another example of experiment design, and this is related to the example that I had just talked about. So in this previous example, we were talking about how incentives should be designed for a referral marketing program. However, there is a next step to that design. Once the referral incentives have been finalized, you still have to decide what call to action or what messaging should be used in the email that is sent out to the inviters, right? So this is where now this is the next step of the design of a good referral marketing program. Now the context was a business called collage.com. And some of my colleagues actually implemented this experiment in the field. This collage.com business, actually, the way this works is that you can upload pictures and then the business will print those pictures on various products, and then these products can be given as gifts, or you can have them for yourself. But this is the idea, right? That you can personalize items like blankets or mugs, etc., based on the pictures that you want on these products, right? So the referral marketing program was being designed for this company. Now, the first step, of course, is that what is the incentive structure that should be used in this referral program, and the company decided to use the equal split incentives, right? So the first step was done, and they decided to go with this equal split incentives where the inviter and the invitee get an equal level of incentive, right? Now the next issue is that how should the treatments, the call to actions should be designed, and how should we create those different treatments? What makes sense to go in there, right? And once again, you can think of a similar idea. While the incentive that is chosen is similar, is equal for both the inviter and the invitee, but the messaging can emphasize a certain part of this scheme, right? Because the messaging can be to emphasize the self-interest, which means the messaging can underline the benefit that you are getting as an inviter, right? On the other hand, the messaging may emphasize equity seeking, which means that the messaging says that both you and your friend are getting something out of this. And the final part is the messaging can emphasize altruism, which is the fact that your friend is going to get something out of this, right? And of course, the control group does not seek to emphasize any particular kind of messaging. Now, 100,000 unique customers of collage.com were selected for this project, right? And these customers were randomly selected. And then they were randomly assigned into one of these 4 groups that I was just talking about, okay? And the emails that are now sent out to these customers vary not in terms of the incentive. Incentive is still the same, the equal split incentive. These emails vary in terms of their messaging, in how the call to action is specified in these emails, right? So now we have got the treatment. And I'm sure that you realize that the idea of self-interest, equity seeking, or altruism, this was the idea in the design of the incentive structure. And now the same idea is being extended in the design of the messaging system, given that the incentive is actually already fixed, right? So this is where the idea for the treatment comes. Nobody is going to say that, well, you have some data and the data is going to give you an idea for treatment. That is possible, but many times the idea for the treatment comes from the understanding of the domain and the theory, which is what I'm kind of trying to reiterate over here. All right. So let us go on and show an example that how the email and the landing page in the email is shown up in the egoistic framing group, right? So the egoistic framing group, of course, is the one where the self-interest is emphasized. So you can see this email, dear John, right? Know someone who would love to create one of our 50 plus custom products, so on and so forth, right? Then the next para, invite them to try collage.com and you will get 70% off your next order. Your friend will also get 70% off their order. And this order is available for only 1 week. And now you can see that the part that emphasizes the benefit to you as an inviter, that part is highlighted in red font. So the part which says you will get 70% off your next order, right? So this part is highlighted. And then there is a call to action, claim this discount, right? So the call to action also emphasizes the benefit to you, that there is a discount out there and you can claim this discount for yourself, right? And if you click on the link on this email, you'll go to a landing page on the website and look at the messaging on the landing page, right? This messaging now reinforces the message that was there in the email text. Here also the title of the page here says that invite your friends, get a 70% discount. So this title of the page, once again, is the same message that you saw in the email, right? So you have got the entire program that is designed in sync, right? So the email and the landing page, they have got a similar message that gets shown to a prospective customer, right? Now, let's talk about all of these 4 different groups and how the title of the email and the landing page title looks like. So in the control group, there was no emphasis on any of this kind of messaging. It was a simple thecollage.com referral program, right? So there is no messaging which emphasizes any kind of benefit to the user, to the inviter, or to the invitee, right? The second one is egoistic framing. And now this one was the example we were already talking about. Invite your friends and get yourself 70% off. The next one is equity framing. And now this emphasizes the equity between the two inviters and the invitee. It says 70% off for you and a friend. The final one is the altruistic framing. And here it says, give your friend a 70% discount, right? So now the emphasis is on giving your friend a discount. So in terms of the text of the email and the landing page, the control group said, invite your friend to collage.com and you and your friend will get a 70% discount on your next purchase. Now you can see that no part of this text is actually highlighted. It is all the same. But when you move to the egoistic framing group, the email here emphasizes the part that you get a 70% discount on your next purchase. Compared to this, when you go to the equity framing group, the text of the email says, invite your friends to collage.com and you and your friend will get a 70% discount, right? So now the equity part gets emphasized in the text of the email as well as on the landing page. The altruistic framing says that your friend will get a 70% discount on the next purchase. And this part gets highlighted. You will get a 70% discount. That part is there in the normal black color of the font. Okay. The words in the CTA and the call to action button at the bottom of the email are also important. And the control group is a neutral, invite a friend. Okay. The egoistic framing, as we saw, was claim this discount. Okay. Now the equity framing email said share this discount, right? So now you can see the equity out here in the call to action. And the altruistic framing was give this discount, right? So based on these 4 different groups, the data was collected for the experiment. And actually, even a simple t-test between the control and the different treatments showed that there was a difference. The first treatment, actually, T1, did not show a significant difference from control. The T1, if you remember, was the one which emphasized self-interest. So the ones that worked were T2, the treatment 2, which was equity seeking, and altruism, which was T3. So here you can see that there are 2 different outcome variables that were being considered. One is the chance of the probability with which the referral decision was made, because not everybody who gets the message decides to do a referral, right? So the probability of making a referral increased compared to the control group, right, for the T3 group, right, which was the altruistic group. For the other 2 groups, T1 and T2, the probability of making a referral did not increase. However, if you look at a different outcome variable, which is the total number of referrals, then you can see that both the T2 and T3 actually was a significant difference from the control group. The T2 is at a 6% p-value, or almost 7% p-value, but still it is close enough to the ballpark. So the idea here is that it seems that the equity framing works in increasing the total number of referrals, but it seems that the altruistic framing in the case of Collage.com works out for both the outcome variables of the probability of making a referral and the total number of referrals that are sent out. Now, one thing that I would like to caution is that these results are not generalizable. These results actually matter for the customer base of Collage.com. A different business will have a different kind of customer population. And such a business, when they design their referral programs, the equity framing may work differently. The altruistic framing may work differently. And so the results that we have from the analysis here may not apply to the customer population of some other business. So every business actually now needs to, if they want to implement a referral program, they need to do something like this series of 2 experiments where they first design the incentive that they want to give, and then they can have a test around that, and following which they then decide what is the messaging to use in their referral program.